Every single time in life when I've been blessed to go through a quote unquote life changing process was when I was shifting, or pretty much I was switching my priorities completely from A to Z. And so, what do I mean by that is that I just simply understood and learned that my current priorities are just simply not serving the person whom I desire to become, or whom I would like all of my enthusiasm to be channeled towards. And so, what do I mean by this is that at this very moment, so for example, I have certain priorities in life, certain values, if you will. And so when I do have these values, what does that mean is that I am just simply, so basically a value system is a list or set of priorities, if you will. And so what is happening now is that I just simply have this priority list. So for example, I do prioritize working out. I do prioritize music production. I do prioritize business. I do not prioritize social life. I do not prioritize having fun. I don't prioritize, randomly going out and doing random BS. I do prioritize order. I do prioritize meditation, so on and so forth. And so every single time, so basically my current habits or my current day-to-day activities have been leading me towards the life that I'm living at this very moment. So for example, many days, I'm very much suffering because I'm just socially fucked up at this very moment. And I know because I completely chose this life, I completely chose this lifestyle because I wanted to dedicate as much time to business and as much as humanly possible. This is a topic for another video though. What have happened is that obviously I wasn't prioritizing social life. I wasn't prioritizing going and hanging out with people. I was only prioritizing cause, making my own thing happen, and so on and so forth. And so this just simply led me at this very moment not having too many friends. Okay, if I would like to change up that situation, then what would I have to do is I have to prioritize, for example, going out. If I would like to get a girlfriend, that what I'm supposed to do, I have to prioritize the activities that are actually leading me towards me getting a girlfriend. So, for example, obviously start going out more often, look for community, download Tinder, do all the things. And so, whilst these things might sound super obvious, I wanted to talk about this because many times the obvious things that we just simply that just simply looks so obvious to us when we are looking at other people, we just simply fail to see it on ourselves. And so the greatest place of how I've been able to spot this characteristic, or would say trait, first and foremost in myself, but how we generally work, is that I just got to realize that in business at this very moment, the most important thing that I'm supposed to be doing is to just simply call. So just simply go ahead, make the cold calls, make the closing calls, generate the leads with cold calls and Instagram outbound, and close the calls by actually going ahead and make the calls. And so what I've got to realize is that today I was like, now I finished with the outreach process, and I was like, hey, most of the times at this very moment, I'm going out there for a run, and after the run, I'm coming back. This is like more than a 1 hour long process. I'm shooting a video, so on and so forth. And so this is a very good habit, but two things happen after this. Obviously, I'm getting a bit exhausted after running because that's physical activity. It's like a no shit Sherlock thing. And after that, I will have many ideas because I will get inspired. And after that, it takes me about 2 hours to get back to calling. And so now I'm a bit exhausted and I have to get back to the calls. And so what is happening is that it is already 2 hours past, which I'm supposed to be doing with the taking with the calls. And after a few hours, basically what happens is that I'm just simply getting so tired that I'm dying. So I'm either taking a nap, either eating something, because mostly I'm eating 1 meal a day or intermediate fasting, something like this. I got back to the experimenting phase again because 1 meal a day is just unsustainable. I mean, obviously that is not a human way of eating. Eating 3,000 calories at one sit, it's like too much. It's like not sustainable, obviously. But what I've got to realize is that I've been just simply prioritizing all these things up until the point where, at this very moment, I was prioritizing sport above business, but I was claiming that I'm prioritizing business above sports, which is fucking not true. Because you can say that you're prioritizing whatever the thing you might be thinking, but your only actions will be the ones who will be determining your priorities, okay? So in this regard, no matter what you're doing, if you're acting in a certain way, then those are your priorities. So basically, your actions are mirroring your priorities. And so why is this such an important topic is because, just as I mentioned to you many, many times, we just simply have the tendency to forget about what our priorities are and what do we really want to do with this whole thing. And so at the end of the day, we are just simply ending up getting to a place where we think that we have certain priorities. So for example, I just thought that, hey man, like business is my first priority. And yesterday I just got to realize that, like I was exhausting myself, maybe consciously, maybe unconsciously. So therefore I can have this excuse that, hey man, like I've been working hard. But in reality, I was doing shit in my business. So basically, my productive capacities were that I made a few outreaches, and I've basically set up 2 appointments, which is like freaking hilarious because I was dedicating all day yesterday to calling. It's like ridiculous low level success. And so at the end of the day, what I've got to realize is that this is like BS. Like I'm just simply fooling myself. I'm not telling the truth for myself. And so in this regard, I got to realize that this is a force inside of me. And many times, like I was claiming that I want to make money, I want to do this, but hey, I'm not willing to change up my mindset. I'm not willing to change up how I think, how I'm thinking. The same thing with weight loss and the same thing with any kind of a change in life when we just simply don't see the place where we're supposed to be doing that. It's like just you have to admit that you have to change up your priorities, meaning that you will have to change up your day-to-day activities, meaning that you will have to change up basically who you are and the core. And so this is how this works and this happens. And just wanted to talk about this because this is such a huge disclaimer for me. And most importantly, we just simply forget about this. But as soon as I'm willing to prioritize my thing, so for example, business over running, then for example, after this video, so I made like a quick workout session, like 10-15 minutes, a few push-ups, and I'll be heading to the calls because this is my priority today. And at the end of the day, at the end of my day, I'll be going to the gym. And this way, I will not be all around the place that, hey man, I have to run, I have to do this. No, I have certain priorities. I'm with the business today. So, and this is it, man. You have to realize this. And again, this might sound obvious to you, but if this sounds like super obvious to you, then it means that you might be overlooking it. So think about that, love.